5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good! Happy Wednesday to you. A wild, wet, and icy Wednesday here in Central Texas, coming to you live from Austin. This is What's the Buzz. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Beami, and I am joined alongside my co-hosts Nova and Amber, chilling out and getting cozy here during this winter, icy, cold storm blowing through much of Texas and the southern, central part and eastern part of our country here. And over the last couple days and next day or 2 days or so. Hope you're staying safe out there, staying prepared and mostly off the road. It is slippery and slippy and slidey out here, so most places are closed. So if you're not getting out to work, I'm not sure what you're getting out for other than just to see, I guess, which is fine. But there ain't much to do out here. I think HEB's even closing early and all that. They closed early yesterday when I was going to go get some water, but it's all good. We made it work. So, yeah, happy Wednesday to you. Middle of the week, and more rain is foretold to be on the way. So we'll see how that affects things. I read earlier a third of the stoplights in Austin are out, and it seemed like almost all of them that I drove through were pretty much out, with the exception of a few. But regardless, we're happy to have you here today on What's the Buzz for this first day of February edition of What's the Buzz. Do you feel different? Did you wake up feeling different? It's a new month, the month of love. I woke up and it was still icy and it was still wet and it was still a little cold. But I don't know, man. I slept good and I woke up feeling good. I woke up feeling like something more happened last night that I just couldn't remember or wasn't remembering that was so exciting and so amazing and so great. But then I realized like nothing really happened except I laid down and went to sleep. But I guess I slept really well and woke up feeling really motivated and encouraged and excited for the day and for the week and for what's to come. And yeah, I don't know how you felt, but that's how I felt waking up this morning. Today's show, our main theme is all about dogs. We talk about dogs a lot. I mean, I got 2 pups right here serving as my co-host, but we had a whole episode dedicated to cats on Monday, and today we wanted to make it all about dogs. So of course we'll hit up our local world entertainment news stories of the day, and then our jam of the day and our closing message. But if you've never listened to the show, or you don't know who I am, or whatever the case may be, today's a great day to just cozy on up and catch up on our show and whatever topics interest you most on whatever episode. Or if you don't know who I am, go ahead and check out our very first episode entitled Who Am I?, where I give a little bit more about me, but also people learn a little bit more about me through every episode, really. That's one of the things I like about doing this show, is picking a main theme, doesn't guarantee that I talk about news, that I'm able to find news stories that are always super necessarily relevant to me or to my life, but it always creates some sort of connection or story or something that, I wouldn't have seen coming if I just tried to report on the front page headlines every day. So that's why we do it like that, just to see what comes up, and that's why we record live and all that. But yeah, we can go ahead and get into our high five topics of the day, beginning with a local news story, once again from KXAN. And this says, Guide Dogs for the Blind chooses Austin to raise puppies, but volunteers are needed. So the organization Guide Dogs for the Blind has chosen Austin as a spot where it's going to raise puppies to be guide dogs from the start. But they need some people to take on and help take care of those puppies. Dogs are incredible in so many different ways and so loyal and faithful and helpful to us as humans. It's incredible the things that they put up with from us and because of us and because of society, and how loving and how much they smile and how much they forgive and how much they accept and still find so much joy and passion and fun out of life. It's one of the most inspirational things in the world to me. So hey, if you're out there and you're able to adopt or take care of a little puppy to be a guide dog, that's incredibly good work and service. Those guide dogs help out the blind so much, and are some of the sweetest beings out there. So definitely keep that in mind. And also, one thing I'll say about guide dogs, having met some blind people and got to have some conversations with them and met their dogs and stuff, is when you see a guy, first of all, you may see someone with a guide dog that if they don't have their cane or they don't have like glasses and stuff, you may not even know they're blind. You may think it's just someone walking their dog. And like, the thing is, I don't know how to say it, but like those dogs are on duty. Like those dogs are the eyes for that person. So if you realize that that's what the situation is, don't distract the dog by wanting to pet it and give it all this attention, ask all these questions and ask how old it is, when this person is out in public and can't see and is relying on this dog to be that for them. Let them do their thing. Respect that space and that privacy. Go get a dog if you want to pet a dog. There's a lot out there that need that love. But also, like, let the dogs who are trained to do what they do what they do. Our high five topic number 2 is our world news of the day. I saw this a bit ago, but I figured it's a good time to report on it. Animal shelter's brutal honesty about demon dog goes viral. It's like this little French bulldog looking thing. And the owner said that when he saw another dog, that he like went crazy and was snarling and drooling, and she said the only thing she could think of was that he sounded like a demon. And honestly, I would never call a dog a demon or something negative like that, but it's been great marketing because now multiple people are in line and wanting to adopt this dog, which makes a lot of sense, and hopefully he's gonna get a good home and live a good long life. All right, topic number 3, our entertainment news of the day, comes from boneappetit.com. And it's like an opinion article written on the fact that everyone's dog is named after food, and I'm not mad about it. This person goes on to explain that they feel like the increase in food-based names for dogs is due to the fact that a lot of younger people than before are buying dogs and are depressed and find comfort in the food that they enjoy and the dog that they have. And you can't go name your son Cucumber, but you can name your dog ridiculous things or absurd things, and it be coming from a place of love. Some of the names apparently on the rise are hot pot, sashimi, yerba, pastrami, queso, pickles, bagels. And hey, I gotta admit, when I first was getting a dog before I had Nova or Amber, um, I'd written a song called Biscuits, and I was gonna name my dog Biscuit. Um, and it was, I guess, if it was going to be a boy, I don't know that I would have named. I don't know. Anyways, when I met Nova to meet her for the this see if it was a good match before the actual adoption. Um, I never once for 1 second was like, oh, that's Biscuit. Like I met her and interacted with her and walked away and was like, yeah, that was Nova. Like I just that that was Nova, and she responded immediately to Nova, and she knew she was Nova. So I did, but hey, I was like any other dog would have been close to naming Biscuit at that point in time. I would not name my dog Biscuit. Amber is not named Biscuit. Um, so there you go. Our jam of the day comes from the Indian metal band, which I believe they had initially started as a parody band that did metal songs, but their name is Bloodywood, and they've now released their own music, and they have a song called Yad, Yaad, which is a song about the grief process of losing a dog, and it's like a dedication to dogs, and a lot of the proceeds that they made off of the song they donated to some sort of dog shelter, I believe. And there's a huge stray dog population over in India, and this song goes hard. It's so good. When I first heard it, it blew me away. um, and it also brings tears to your eyes at the same time. It's so well done and so good. So that'll be linked below, along with every other thing that we have talked about today. Um, and I just have to say, in this episode about dogs, I just have to say thank you to my co-hosts Nova and Amber. Without them, I'm not sure that I would I'd be would be speaking. You'd be hearing me right now. Um, I just can't say enough. And so our closing message today, my closing message to you is: see what ways you or others relate to or are similar to dogs. We're not that different. There's a lot of things about I've kind of mentioned before. There's a lot of things about society, about growing up, about education, about school, about family, about certain ideologies and just things we're brought up in that steer us away from the natural beings and earthlings that we are. And this is true for all animals here. The coyotes had their, the wolves, the squirrels, the deer had their home bulldozed and bombed and destroyed and built on, and a lot of them still have to try to find little spots to coexist, or get shot for just being them. And I think it was yesterday morning when it was still really cold, and I took Noma and Amber to Bull Creek to not like to get in the water, but just to run around in the park. And we were the only ones there. And at one point, I look up in the cliff and I see a coyote just trotting on the edge, like moving on, doing his thing. And I couldn't see Amber at that moment. Sometimes Amber goes and chases squirrels in the trees, and I was like, Amber, come here, because I was like, you're food for them. You're a little tater tot for a little hungry coyote going around. And I love coyotes, but they're just trying to survive and eat just like us. And she ended up being like right next to me. She's a little tiny thing, always disappearing. Uh, and I picked her up and we got out of there. But I couldn't help but think, like, man, this, like, I'm the intruder, first of all, but I'm just here in a car. Like, there's all these houses all around, these mansions all around here, and this coyote, this is his space, not ours, not those people in the houses, not those cars. This is his home, and it's I was grateful to be able to share this um, space with him. And I was at a dog park a few days ago, and no, this was like a couple weeks ago, and someone was talking about how they had ADHD, and I said, oh yeah, I was diagnosed with that when I was like 5. And they were talking about how with ADHD, they said a couple things that I didn't really realize, but I found interesting. But they said that one of the things is like you're like if you're having to do something that doesn't excite you, that is like monotonous or boring or whatever, like you're just not uh as comfortable, as likely to like just keep doing it. Like you want to go find something that brings you a spark and brings you excitement. And I was looking around at the dogs and thinking about my own dogs, and I was like, that's just that's how dogs are. And then I was like, that's not just dogs, that's how everything is. That's animals. Squirrels, dogs, cats, like deer, like nature. Nature wants to have fun and like be excited. So do we. That's not even an ADHD thing. That's a human thing. And people with ADHD just can't shut that out as easily as I guess other people maybe. And um I realized like we're just the same as animals, and like we're just given medication and given jobs and made to feel like we're wrong for like not wanting to read, or not wanting to get forced by a teacher to like do a bunch of math work or homework on a sheet of paper. Like, no, you're right, I don't want to do that. I want to go experience life. Like, the way I learn is by living. The way we all learn is by living. And living in whatever way that we need to learn and in whatever environments we're led to learn in. And I don't know, it felt differently after that. I'm like, I'm not apologizing for wanting to be excited, and I'm not wrong for that. And I don't have a disorder or a disease and neither do dogs. Everyone gives their dogs these drugs and tranquilizers and are so mad that they have energy. Where's your energy? If you don't have the energy, you shouldn't have a dog. And that's fine. That's okay. You do you. But don't bring other people down or other beings down because they have that energy and that interest for excitement and fun and being activated and bursting out of your skin. Like, that's a fun, exciting feeling. So yeah, that's just my closing message to you. Look at your dog, or look at the dogs around you, or maybe even just the squirrels and the birds and the bees around you, and think about what ways you're the same, and what ways you relate to them, and what ways you like understand where they're coming from, on why they live the way they do, or make the decisions they do, or have the behaviors they do. Because I think it'll help us understand each other as humans and help bring us closer together as a whole, entire big old planet of life here on Earth. That's going to do it for today's show. Today's been all about dogs. This has been What's the Buzz on behalf of Nova and Amber. I hope you stay safe, stay warm, and sit back, drink some hot cocoa, listen to some jams, watch some tunes, or show, whatever. Cozy on up and let it pass, and be ready to welcome the sunshine quite soon, because it's going to get warm again. And we got a beautiful spring and summer ahead of us. So thank you for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow for our Thursday show, which our main theme tomorrow is numerology for 2-2. My name is Beami, and I will catch you next time. Peace. Love and light. Good night.